Hello everyone and welcome back. Today we're going to do something kind of fun. I've had a lot of requests for how do I decorate with these trays.
I keep finding it in all the stores.
Everyone buys them and they don't know what to do with them. So I've gathered a whole bunch of fun materials and I'm going to kind of pick and choose out of there, and we're going to do some decorating with trays. So stay tuned. I'm going to pick a couple of these trays here. And what I'm going to do is switch them out a couple of times so that you can get a couple of different ideas on what to do. We've got metal here. I've got glass trays. I've actually even got a relish tray, which you can decorate with. Um, then I've got a really pretty filigree metal with handles on it. I've got just some basket material, wood, and a couple other ones here too. So let's start with this one. So this is just an old antique tray that I probably picked up at an antique marketplace or a garage sale even. You just never know. Just kind of got to look out for things. Okay, I've gathered some supplies and I've got a few here off camera. I think we're going to go ahead and create something for a bathroom for the first one. I want to do something with birds. So I've got this bird out here, a little nest, some greenery. And this actually was from an old candle ring. And it was so cool that when it finally kind of fell apart, I decided I needed to keep it because look at all of the little beads and leaves in there. It's just really nice to be able to put in with something for a little more texture. The first thing I'm going to do is put in this little shelf sitter. You can use cardboard, anything like that, just anything to lift up the bird a little bit because he's really little. I want to use something as a background so I can hide that. And I'm going to put the bird in, fluff up some of this. And before I put the nest in, I want to kind of drape some of this around. I want to show some of it. There we go. Okay, so I've got the front part done, but what I do want is a few things in the back as well. I'm going to take a little rolled up hand towel and I'm going to set it in here. And I've got some bath products here. And I'm going to set that. Let's move you up a little bit. There we go. I've got my bird and I've got my nest. Then in the back, I've decided I was going to go ahead and do a little tray for the bathroom. So I've got a hand towel in here, a sponge, some bath products, and then up front here, I decided to just throw in a little lip balm. So I'm going to show you what that looks like in the bathroom. Now let's take this apart and we're going to create this in a second way. Okay, so the second one I've gathered supplies for, and I just put this in because it was a little tough to get it in. I had to use something to prop it up to tighten it because the board kept falling over. So don't be afraid to do a little bit of propping if you have to. Okay, it works just fine and no one's going to see it. So what I want to do is do something for the kitchen. Now, I've got little wooden spoons and some antique clothespins, and I've got a couple of marbles. I don't know where everything came from, but it's kind of cute. And it's in an old little mason jar. So I'm going to plop that right down here. And then I have this little set of carrots. I think they were off of a wreath or something that I purchased not too long ago. And I want to say that these are probably from Hobby Lobby or Michael's, something that I use in my crafts and also in my decorating. I'm going to go take this into the kitchen and I will show you what this one looks like. So let's move on to the next tray. And I think what I'm going to use is this one. This one is nice and large. You can put this on a coffee table, a dresser, kitchen table, countertop, whatever, to be able to decorate with. So let me gather supplies. Okay, this one is going to be pretty simple for a tabletop or a dresser. I've got this cute little vase here that is also in a wrought iron stand. And so I'm just going to, I placed a flower in it, and I'm going to add a couple of little books and this picture of my granddaughter. And I think I'll put a plant right here. And look, isn't that kind of a little welcoming for a dresser or a tabletop? I'm going to put this on the tabletop in the next room, and I'll show you what that looks like. Okay, so the second one on this tray, I'm going to make very simple. This would be perfect for a coffee table. You could throw your remotes in it, whatever ends up working. So we're going to start out with just a little lantern. And I'm going to put a candle in it, always battery operated. And I don't have to worry about flames and things like that. And I also love that most of the ones that I choose are remote control. So I can turn them on and off as I want to. So once again, we're going to use some greenery here. To me, it just helps make your project. And I'm just going to kind of weave it in here. A little bit of it on both sides. Shape it. Make sure the leaves are turned up. Now, the other thing I'm going to use in here is this. This is from Hobby Lobby, and it's in the wedding collection. It's part of the his and hers. I love these things. These are little burlap leaves, and I buy them up every time they go on sale. So I just think they just add a really cool touch to whatever it is you're working on. And this lantern could be smaller as well, but I wanted to kind of put a big punch in here. So remote controls could go there. The remotes for your candles could go there. You could put a couple of little books there. Once again, if you wanted to, you could put a picture in there. This one doesn't sit the way I'd like it to. There we go. So you could do something like that. So I'm going to show you some pictures of it sitting without these added things, so you can get an idea. Okay, this next one is rather simple, but you can't do a whole lot when it comes to tiny, tiny trays. So I'm going to use this one this time. And the first one we're going to do is put in a little bud vase. And I got these two little silk flowers in here. And then I'm going to put in this little bird. And I'm going to switch it out now and do something just as simple. Maybe the letter of your last name or something simple like this. These little succulents you can buy everywhere now. They're fake. I don't do real. Okay, let me see if there's one more thing I can do with this one.
Okay, what I've got here is a little mason jar that I created into a little candle holder. And I'm just gonna lay this down in here and I'm gonna just put a little bird's nest with it. But we're gonna use this little garland again. I just like the way that it looks with the bird's nest. I'm just gonna nestle it down inside of there and just make something very, very simple. At night with this candle lit, I think this would be really, really a sweet look. Now I'm going to use the little glass relish tray that I showed you earlier. It's just a little tiny sweet piece that could just fit anywhere. It could sit on top of another tray that already has things in it as well. Now this is a round wooden tray that has a little pedestal feet on it. And I really like this one. I use this in my kitchen a lot. And we're gonna just do something very simple with it by putting in a little wreath or candle ring. And I believe I got this at Hobby Lobby. They have them on sale all the time. And I'm just gonna put in a potted plant. I just want to give it its own little space. This one I'm doing for a guest bedroom, like on a nightstand. I've put in a little glass pitcher from my kitchen that I've added some little flowers to. I'm gonna put in a clock, but I'm gonna raise it up a little bit because it is actually short. And then we're gonna put in a little succulent just to give it a little finishing touch. Here's another version of that same tray used in the kitchen with my olive oils and a bottle of vanilla and a couple of little mason jars that are salt and pepper shakers. This next tray is the large copper one, and I purchased this at Home Goods, a year or so ago. I just love it. We're gonna put in a potted plant, something tall to give some height, and then a black easel that you can find anywhere and a little picture of my grandbaby dressed in her Halloween costume. Then I'm going to take a little book in a contrasting color than the actual copper plate, and I'm putting a little angel on top of that. Now, the reason for that is if I set the angel on top of just the copper plate, you really wouldn't see her. For this next one, I want to create some height. So I'm going to put in a potted plant that is fairly tall, and then we're going to use that same candle ring, and I'm going to put this sphere in here. This is a metal sphere, which is going to give some really nice texture. The next thing I'm going to add is, one more time, a little book just to give some dimension between the bottom of the tray and this little plaque I'm putting in. It says something really cute about sisters. Now, along with that, I want to add this other piece. This is a replica of like an antique bobbin, and it has jute wrapped around it, and it's got a little pair of scissors in it. And I just think it makes a really sweet accent. Now we're going to use what I call a perfume tray. So we're going to take a little picture and this little bud vase, and I realize I'm kind of using a few of the same things over and over again, but they just work wonderfully. And this little silver creamer, which I think would be perfect to put your rings in. Let's say this could go in a guest bathroom. And then I've added this little bitty bird just to kind of give it a little something. And now we're going to use the bud vase again. I've got a candle, and I'm going to add some lamb's ear. And this is also from Hobby Lobby in the His and Hers collection, the wedding section. And I love using this because this gives a little softness to everything that you are creating with it. and I wanted a little softness to add the bird's nest to. So here's our last one, and I think it's perfect for like a guest bathroom. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope that now you feel a little bit more comfortable about taking some of those fun trays you have at home and doing something really wonderful with them. Stay tuned for our next video, and thanks for watching. So come on with me, we're gonna have some fun.